Hey, what's good, people? It's your boy PC Williams. Had a few technical difficulties, man. With the internet and the storm passing over, man. But we here, good to go. Hope everybody had a good Monday. Coming to you live on behalf of 1K Sports, unfiltered, unbiased, unapologetic, man. So got a good little quick show for y'all today, man. As y'all know, Jalen Ramsey, he talking again. And of course, Aaron Rodgers being the GOAT or not. And of course, I got something fun for y'all today, man. My top 10 sports movies of all time. So can't wait to get into that with y'all. Feel free to tune in, and give me y'all top 10 sports movies. What y'all think is y'all top 10 sports movies. I got my top 10 right here. But like I said, man, we got a good little quick show for y'all today. So let's talk some sports, baby. All right. Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars, man, what can I say, man? They've become, the bad boys of the NFL, man. They a bunch of wild, unfiltered guys, say whatever comes to their mind first, man. So, as we all know, Jalen Ramsey did an interview for GQ magazine, and he let loose, man. They asked him about a couple quarterbacks, and he just started going down the list. I mean, me personally, the worst one. If I was a quarterback, I would be offended by someone saying this. I mean, the worst one to me was saying that Josh Allen, sucks. Saying that he's going to be. It was a horrible pick. Now maybe it's a little personal because of the racial tweets that came out, this year around the draft. That, to Josh Allen's defense, they were back when he was in high school, maybe a little younger, immature kind of kids saying those things on Twitter. But they, of course, on draft night, if you stole toothpaste from Family Dollar, it becomes national news on draft night. So, it was unfortunate for Josh Allen, but I don't think he's going to suck. But for Jalen to come out and just say, hey, he's going to be a horrible pick, that was a mistake. I mean, only time will tell. You come from a small school like Wyoming, and then you come into the NFL, maybe he can adapt. Maybe he will. We don't know. But that definitely was the worst one for me. But he definitely did not hold back on some of these other great quarterbacks. Just came out and just straight up said Joe Flacco sucks. Said Eli Manning is a product of Odell Beckham. He said Big Ben is decent at best. That was funny. Said Matt Ryan is a product of Julio Jones. Actually said Deshaun Watson is a future MVP. Now that's funny to me. Didn't comment on Jameis Winston, his college teammate. Go figure. But just to give Jalen some love, I have no issue with his comments. I do have an issue, but do I have an issue with him speaking out and saying what he feels? No. I mean, the guy's a competitor. I think he's a special football player. Been following him since FSU, came in as a true freshman and started every game, All-American, national champion. I mean, just came in and just made everyone forget about some guy who went there named Deion Sanders. But, he's not Deion, but he definitely has what it takes to be that great. Jalen Ramsey, ironically, is actually my defensive player of the year pick. I actually have Jalen Ramsey being defensive player of the year this year. So, he's my pick for that. So I definitely think he's going to win it. He's definitely got Hall of Fame talent. I think he's a great player. He really, in my opinion, he's really, changed the culture of the Jacksonville Jaguars. As I know, as you all who live in Jacksonville know, the Jaguars have been, losing. It's been real bad, to the point where it's like, man, these guys really suck, but the thing that I admired about Jalen Ramsey was the fact that he came in as a rookie and he wasn't having none of it. He was going off on the sideline. I even saw him, crying one game, and I feel like that was not an embarrassing moment for Jalen Ramsey. That was a real moment. That was a moment of, hey, I'm not a damn loser. I didn't come here to lose. I didn't come here to, be a part of mediocrity. I didn't come here to be a part of, just being pathetic, And he came in guns blazing, man, unfiltered, saying what's on his mind, And I love it. But the thing about it is, sometimes you get ahead of yourself, and I feel like with these comments that Jalen Ramsey said, I feel like he's kind of gotten a little, kind of got a little big head, as a lot of the Jacksonville Jaguars have, and rightfully so. I mean, you go from being the doormat to a team that is just downright scary for the next 4 or 5 years with the young talent you have and the young core of players you have. You have an all-time great defense that's going to be together for a long time. You have an offense that's only going to get better. You got Leonard Fournette, who top 5 pick, great running back. Follow him in college as well, So the Jaguars have a great nucleus of things going on right now. So, what's going on, Eddie B? Hey, drive safe, man. I know, I love you for checking in, man. But just definitely be safe out there on the roads, man. I don't want to, hear nothing bad about you, man. But definitely thanks for tuning in. But drive safe first, man. We gotta go first, man. But get there safe. Appreciate you for tuning in, dog. But like I said, man, Jalen's a great player, and he has earned the right to talk about whatever. But when you're unfiltered and when you speak your mind, a lot of times you get ahead of yourself. And I feel like Jalen, he said some things that I do agree with. He did call Dak Prescott a game manager. As a Cowboy fan, I agree with that. I mean, I think Dak Prescott is just that, a game manager. He said that, Deshaun Watson would be a MVP one day. Man, how about them Canes? What's up, DJ? Look, man, I don't know if you caught my last show. It's on my PC Williams page. It's on YouTube. I did my top 4, or my picks for the college football playoff, and I actually have Miami in the playoffs this year. So you ain't gotta say how about them Canes and sign out, man. I see y'all coming. I mean, that turnover chain, man, is something special. Y'all building something down there, man. And me personally, I feel like it's gonna be Alabama, Miami, Michigan, and Washington, man. So that's my 4 for the college football playoff. Of course, DJ, I'm a Bama fan, man. So we go beat y'all ass anyway. But for the most part, I got y'all coming to the playoff and getting y'all ass beat, and then maybe next year y'all win it. But who cares? But just diving into what Jalen Ramsey said about some of these quarterbacks. I mean, some of them he hit right on the head. Some of them maybe it was a little personal beef, and some I'm just like, Jalen, what the hell are you talking about? So let me just say this. My biggest issue with his comments was that, it comes off as he's avoiding the really big fight. It's like, okay, I'm getting ready to fight Mike Tyson. But before the fight, I talked trash about his bag man, or I talked trash about his trainer. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever, but I'm fighting Mike Tyson. And for the most part, Jalen Ramsey, you're not playing the quarterbacks. You're not in a chess match with the quarterback. That's Barry Church's job. He's the safety. He's the one that fights the quarterback through a mental, battle, intellectual battle. I feel like if you're gonna keep it 100, keep it 1,000. Trash talk Odell. You got the first game of the season. You're playing Odell Beckham, who a lot of people say he's about to be the highest paid player or receiver in NFL history. One of those two, he's gonna become that. So it's like the first game of the season, you're going against Odell Beckham. Why not trash talk Odell Beckham? Why you want to trash talk Eli and praise Odell? Why trash talk Matt Ryan and praise Julio? Why trash talk Ben and praise, AB? You're going against these guys. These are the guys you're going against. You determine if Eli can even throw Odell the ball. Eli can beat you without going to Odell. He can go other places. He got a great tight end. They got a great running back. They got decent receivers around Odell. So Eli is a veteran. These guys are not going to get into some back and forth with you about, you said something about me, so I'm finna throw it your way 100 times and look like an idiot. No. Your real battle is with the guys that throwing the ball to. You determine what kind of quarterback or what kind of receiver these guys are going to be on that day, because you're the best quarterback in the NFL. So guess what? You're going to go and see the best receiver in the NFL. So my thing is this: why not trash talk the guys you're actually going to fight, the guys you're actually going to go head to head with? Why go after their quarterbacks? You're going after the quarterbacks, guys who can. They don't have to go at you, Jalen. They can go away from you and still win the game. And hey, I won regardless of whatever the situation is. But you're going at the quarterbacks, not the receivers, the guys you're actually going to go against. You didn't fight Andy Dalton last year. You fought AJ Green. Why? Because you kept saying something, he didn't like it. He got you from behind with the chokehold. Y'all started fighting. And I loved it. I love what he stands for. But if you're going to be that guy, talk to the guy you're going to line up against. You're going to see Odell about 20 times like this. You're going to see Julio about 20 times like this. You're going to see him face to face. So trash talk them. Why not call them out? If you're going to just start calling everyone out and saying this guy sucked, that guy's overrated, call out everybody. Not just your select few, the guys who you want to just pick out and say stuff about. So I'm going to go down the list of guys who I felt like he was a little off base about. He said Joe Flacco sucks. Is Joe Flacco a disappointment at times? Yes. Does he drive you crazy? If you're a Raven fan, I know some Raven fans, he drives them crazy. But Joe Flacco sucks? Nah, bro. I mean, the irony is that if I had to pick a quarterback in a playoff game in New England, I'm picking Joe Flacco. You want to know why? Because he's beaten Tom Brady twice in Foxborough. I'm sorry, Ramsey, but quarterbacks that suck, they don't beat Tom Brady at home in the playoffs. He's a champion, he's a Super Bowl champion. Now, he got his ring, got his money, got comfortable. That's a lot of guys, they get their ring, they get the money, they get comfortable, they get relaxed. And that's what's going on with Joe Flacco. But to say he sucks, no. Is he worth the money? Hell no. But does he suck? No. He's a damn good quarterback. He's the kind of quarterback that in the playoffs, crazy enough, you actually want a Joe Flacco. And I think Joe Flacco's, nonchalant attitude, it actually plays a part in why he's so successful in the playoffs, because everyone is so uptight and everyone is all just trying to change. Okay, well, I ate spaghetti last week. I got to eat lasagna this week for the game. Everybody's all freaking out, getting out of their comfort zone. And Joe Flacco's right there, the same look, same coolness about him. It drives you crazy over a 16-game season, but you love it in the winner take all because he don't care. He's going out there fearless and attacking you. So Joe Flacco sucks? No, Ramsey. I promise you'll take Flacco over your guy. Eli Manning is a product of Odell Beckham. Come on, Ramsey, man. You way off on that. Eli Manning is a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He's a 2-time MVP of said Super Bowl. He's a Pro Bowler. He's an All-Pro. All before Odell Beckham. So if Odell is the best in the world at what he does, why does Eli Manning still have 2 championship rings? Eli Manning was that dude. Now, is he Peyton Manning? No. Does he, with Eli, is feast or famine? He's going to make the playoffs and go all the way to the Super Bowl and win it, or he's going to get in the first round, get blown out, or just miss it completely. With Eli, it's all or nothing. He's going to win you a championship, or y'all not going to the playoffs, or you're getting blown out in the first round. Either way, when Eli gets in the playoffs, everybody gets worried. Everybody gets scared when Eli gets in the playoffs. And that's the thing I said about Joe Flacco. When these guys get in the playoffs, when guys like Joe Flacco and Eli Manning get in the playoffs, it's scary because you're uptight, you're nervous, you're feeling the expectation and the pressure. Whereas Joe Flacco and Eli, all year long, they've heard how they suck and the team's better without them. So they're going there playing with house money like, hey, no one expects me to win. If I lose, I'm Joe Flacco. If I lose, I'm Peyton Manning's little brother. Either way, I got nothing to lose. So I'm going to go out here and let it fly. And that has resulted in, I wouldn't say Eli's average. He's slightly above average. But hey, with the numbers he's going to retire with, and you got 2 championship rings, I wouldn't say Odell had anything to do with that. He said Big Ben, decent at best. Whew. I'm not a Big Ben fan personally. Like, but to say he's decent at best, whatever. Does he have the best receiver in football right now in AB? Yes. But before AB showed up, Big Ben was also a two-time Super Bowl champion. He was an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler. He also sent Hines Ward, Mike Wallace, Santonio Holmes, and Emmanuel Sanders all to the Pro Bowl before AB got there. So decent at best? Nah, homie. He's very good. Close to great. I wouldn't say great because I haven't seen enough of him leading this. I feel like the first Super Bowl, he was kind of along for the ride, didn't ruin it. The second one, he played a big part. The game-winning drive hit Holmes in the back of the end zone with a toe tap catch. So, Big Ben for me, he's been up and down, but very much an elite quarterback. So, not a fan, but decent at best, Jalen. Got to call you on that, bro. And then we get to Matt Ryan. He says Matt Ryan is only good because he has Julio Jones. I love Julio Jones. Y'all all know that. Roll Tide. He's the best receiver in the world. He's the best receiver that I've seen in the last 5 or so years. Julio was the man. But Matt Ryan was also an All-Pro. He was league MVP with Julio, but he also made the playoffs before Julio. He was a Pro Bowler, All-Pro before Julio. And you forget, Matt Ryan was drafted by a 2-14 team that was coming off the whole Michael Vick dogfighting scandal and was pretty much rocked. He comes in, and they're in the playoffs. Just like that. So, and not to mention, he sent Algie Crumpler and Roddy White to the Pro Bowl before Julio showed up. So, I love Jalen Ramsey, man, but I feel like some of these comments were just Jalen Ramsey talking. And I feel like when a guy like Jalen Ramsey starts talking, I think we as people, we have so much, we're so impersonal, like we can just sit there and say, oh, yeah, he's right because he's so honest. Well, you can be honest, but you can be wrong too. He gave his opinion, but his opinion not facts. Anyone that can look at Joe Flacco's resume and say he sucks, something wrong with you. Excuse me. And, for the most part, he kind of gave some guys half-hearted compliments, half-hearted insults, but the ones that stuck out to me was the Joe Flacco comment, the Eli Manning comment, and, Matt Ryan and those guys. So, but the thing is that, the thing I want to get into here is that Jalen Ramsey, in his interview, he kept kind of beating home the idea of that some of these great quarterbacks are great because of their supporting cast. Now, Jalen, that's the pot calling the kettle black because you have three legit elite interior defensive linemen in Calais Campbell, Marcel Darius, and Malik Jackson. Malik Jackson was a champion before he got to Jacksonville. Calais Campbell was a big-time Pro Bowler in Arizona. Marcel Darius, Roll Tide, was a $100 million man before Jacksonville. So we can all look at Jalen Ramsey and say, well, hold on, right, Jalen, you got 2 elite pass rushers in Ngakoue and Fowler. You have 3 elite interior linemen. You have a brand new, highly paid linebacker in Telvin Smith. You have a freak of nature in Miles Jack, who should have been a top 5 pick at linebacker. You have AJ Abouye on the other side of you. He's a top 5 corner. You got Barry Church calling the signals. He's a top 10 safety. So we can look at you and say, maybe you're not as good, Jalen Ramsey. I personally don't agree with that. I think Jalen is legit. But the same way you call these guys out and say, oh, they have elite talent at receiver, or they have elite talent at this or that. Well, Jalen, you got pass rushers, you got run stuffers, you got fast linebackers, you got another elite corner on the other side of you, and a pretty damn good safety in Barry Church. So it's like, how we know you legit. I know you legit. But for you to say that some of these guys are great because of what they have around them, and then I look at your defense and I see what you have around you, that's very hypocritical. That's hypocrisy at its best, Jalen. But, like I said, I'm not going to completely just beat down Jalen Ramsey here. I think what he said was, his opinion. But in return, I give my opinion. And I think Jalen Ramsey was just a little bit off base with what he said. So, but my message to Jalen Ramsey is like, look, dude, you're great. You're going to be great for a long time. You're going to go to Pro Bowls, All Pro. I got you winning Defensive Player of the Year. But understand this. Pride before crash. Pride before crash. Prime example, Richard Sherman. Just a few short years ago, he was outspoken, probably the best cornerback in the game, played for an elite defense in Seattle, had great guys around him, and year by year, he started to slip off this much and that much. Now, I name my top 5 corners in the league right now, he's not in it. Just that quick. He goes from top 5 corner to maybe top 10. It can happen that quick, Jalen. So my thing is this: be careful. The NFL is a passing league. Why you think Khalil Mack hasn't got paid yet? Why you think Aaron Donald hasn't got paid yet? Because it's becoming an offensive league. They're starting to look at a D tackle and a linebacker and say, well, yeah, your 15 sacks in the season, that's pretty good, but that's just one play you're going to make every game, and the quarterback's going to make thousands of plays because of how the game is now. So if I'm just talking to Jalen Ramsey one-to-one, I'm saying, look, dude, keep doing what you're doing. Don't change, man. But be mindful. At some point, that great defense in Jacksonville is going to get broken up because of contracts, and I want this money, I want that money. And the same thing with Richard Sherman. He started losing guys like, Cam Chancellor, Earl Thomas, Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, Ray Bryant. These guys started leaving, and now all of a sudden you look more and more suspect as they leave. So I'm not saying Jalen Ramsey is a suspect, but just pump the brakes, Jalen, and kind of, get some money on your resume. Update your resume. You're a top elite corner. This year's gonna be a big year for you. I got you winning Defensive Player of the Year, like I said earlier. But that's just me. This league can chew you up and spit you out, Jalen, especially if you start dissing guys that have been there and done that. So, I love Jalen Ramsey, but you gotta be mindful of your comments. You gotta be mindful of what you're saying and how your career has not yet been, the story about your career is still being written. A lot of these guys, Eli Manning, Big Ben, a lot of these guys can stop playing right now and still be considered all-time greats. You can stop playing right now, Jalen, and I don't think no one's going to call you an all-time great corner off of 2 years. So just be mindful, Jalen, but like I said, he's going to be Defensive Player of the Year this year. Jaguars are an elite team. They're my Super Bowl pick. But hey, Jaguar fans, y'all too. Hey, when success comes overnight, humility dies overnight too. You start getting all this new success, all this new fame, and all your core values, humility and humbleness, all of that goes out the window too. As the new success comes in, the old foundation that you built yourself on goes out the window, and now all of a sudden you're just cocky and arrogant, not cocky and arrogant with a foundation of, hey, I was a loser at one point. I can always get back down there, so let me stay up here and understand that down there doesn't feel good. But right now the Jaguars are up here, and they think that down there never happened. So, but all in all, I respect Jalen Ramsey, great cornerback, but get that resume a little more impressive before you start calling out elite guys who've done it for years and years. So, but moving on to Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Discount Double Check himself. Antonio Brown posted a video, well, not a video, but he posted a picture on Twitter, I think, last night, after their game against Green Bay, and he said, great to meet a great player and a great person, and he captured the picture as GOAT. calling Aaron Rodgers the GOAT. Aaron Rodgers is not the GOAT. Aaron Rodgers, to me, right now, he still needs to surpass Brett Favre as the greatest Packer quarterback. Hell, even Bart Starr. So I think Aaron Rodgers, sometimes we get so enamored with how talented someone is. Oh, he's so talented. He's so great. He's so athletic. He throws the ball so great that we forget that we judge all-time great players and we judge all-time great quarterbacks about how you perform in the postseason and championships. Is it unfair? Me personally, I think maybe it could be unfair because football is the ultimate team sport. But that's the way it is. That's the game we play. No one gave Peyton Manning no pass. No one gave Dan Marino a pass. So, hey, Aaron Rodgers, you're not getting the pass. You know, if you're an elite quarterback, we should see more. Now, I'm not going to lie. You know, him being the GOAT, that made a lot of sense after 2010. Now, as we all know, Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl in 2010 with the Packers. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl that year. And even now, it's like, wow, this guy could be in an all-time great. Hell, could be the greatest ever. The way he throws the football, the way he runs the football, how he escapes pressure, how he can just make he can make any throw from anywhere. Falling out of bounds, running on the run. The man is awesome. You know, just completely awesome. So, arguably, in my opinion, he's the best thrower of the football ever. He's got a skill set that is so unique, I don't think we'll ever see it again. He's got Marino's arm and accuracy. He's got Peyton Manning's brain for the game. He's got Tom Brady's passion for the game with dedication. He's got Steve Young's, you know, elusivity. He's got Steve Young's athletic ability. You know, he's got so many great quarterbacks. He has that part of them. I don't think he's a great leader. You know, me personally, I would hate playing with Aaron Rodgers because I feel like he's a blame deflector. He's a crybaby, always pointing fingers and all. It was his fault and, you know, showing guys up. You know, I feel like, you know, he's not a great leader to me, you know. But in terms of, you know, as a player, talent, ability, he's great. He's awesome. However, and just like I said, he's a champion also. Aaron Rodgers is a champion. Like I said, he's a two-time MVP. He's a Pro Bowler, All-Pro. He's a top 10 quarterback all time. He's a top 10 quarterback all time. Hey, Tyree, I apologize. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. I'm finna go in on your boy real quick, like. So, like I said, all the great things. Great throw of the football, greatest ever throw of the football, skill set we never seen before, champion, MVPs, all that. Go Pack, go. No Pack, no. Now, like I said, 2010, Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. Myself and every football fan in America thought, okay, this guy finna take off. He finna win a whole bunch of Super Bowls, MVPs, finna just take over the league. Even I felt that way at the time. But let's run down Aaron Rodgers' career. Let's run down his career post Super Bowl. 2011, the Packers coming to the season, oh man, hyped up, man. You know, Aaron Rodgers going back to the Super Bowl. Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb. They just drafted Randall Cobb, man. The running game gonna be nice. Clay Matthews back on defense, man. Everybody just ready to go, ready to roll. 15-1. 15-1 was their record. They didn't even get to a championship game. They lost at home in 2011 to the New York Giants. Got their ass kicked. 38-20 in Lambeau Field. Now, how that sound? The Green Bay Packers get beat by 18 in their house in the playoffs, in that weather, in that environment, that stadium? Come on, man. Aaron Rodgers in that game against Eli Manning was 26 of 46. 264 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Eli Manning in that same game was 21 of 33, 330 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Season over with. So Aaron Rodgers, the MVP of the MVP of the NFL that year, was outperformed by the guy who Jalen Ramsey said is Odell Beckham, Odell Beckham dependent. Eli's not that good according to Jalen Ramsey. Eli's not that good. But on that day he was. 2012. Aaron Rodgers beats Joe Webb. Y'all know who Joe Webb is? He was the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings the year AP ran for 2,000 yards. So AP ran for 2,000 yards, and you got Joe Webb as your quarterback. Yeah, they was going home in the first round pretty much, and Aaron Rodgers did do that. He did beat Joe Webb. Congrats, Aaron Rodgers. You beat Joe Webb. Good job, Aaron Rodgers. You beat Joe Webb. But then he goes to San Fran. He goes to the Bay Area, and he plays the 49ers. In that game against Colin Kaepernick, who at the time was an elite quarterback. He goes to the Bay Area, 26 of 39, 247, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Not bad. Not bad, But Colin Kaepernick was 17 of 31, 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, 16 carries, 181 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Aaron Rodgers, the bad man, the GOAT, once again, was outperformed and defeated in the playoffs. 2013, they got a home playoff game again. They got a home playoff game again. Let me say it again. They had a home playoff game again. In that game, Aaron Rodgers, once again, 17 of 26, 177 yards, and 1 touchdown. Colin Kaepernick, 16 of 30, 227 yards, and a touchdown. 1 interception. He also ran the ball for like 6 times for 81 yards and a touchdown. And then he didn't get a touchdown, but he had a big scramble that led to the game-winning touchdown. So once again, Aaron Rodgers, the elite, dominant, bad man himself, was dominated and outperformed in a playoff game at home. So you win a Super Bowl on the road. You get back-to-back home playoff games and you lose them. And you not only lose them, you got outperformed by a quarterback who everyone says is not better than you by any stretch of imagination. Eli Manning outperformed you in your house. Colin Kaepernick beat your ass in his house, then came to your house and beat your ass in your house. That's not GOAT. That's not GOAT. That's not GOAT level. No, it's not. 2014. Oh my God. 2014, he played the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional game. And unfortunately, there was a robbery in that game. Dez Bryant got robbed because it was a catch. It was a catch, okay? And everyone always tells me, well, PC, yeah, if that was a catch, it was a catch. But they say, okay, if that was a catch and the Cowboys did score, Aaron Rodgers had 2 minutes left. So that guarantees he's going to beat us? I don't think so. I think had they given Dez Bryant that catch because it was a catch, had Dez Bryant been awarded a catch, and we get that touchdown, I think Aaron Rodgers does what he always does in the playoffs up until that moment, and that's choke. But instead, we got robbed, we got screwed, A-Rod got get to the free victory, and that's how it all went down. Then, after robbing us, he goes to Seattle and plays Seattle in a championship game. What did he do in that game? I don't know what he did. Oh, yeah. He was 19 of 34, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. GOAT. Hell, that ain't even. That's not sheep, man. That's horrible. That's horrible. This guy's the GOAT. This guy who Stephen A. Smith just loves to death. The greatest quarterback we ever seen? I don't think so. So, 2015. 2015. The Green Bay Packers win a playoff game on the road in Washington against Kirk Cousins. Not bad, not shabby. Even though Kirk Cousins outperformed Aaron Rodgers in that game. Kirk Cousins played a better game than Aaron Rodgers in that game. He outperformed Aaron Rodgers. Look it up. Had more yards, more touchdowns, outperformed Aaron Rodgers in that game. So he beats Kirk Cousins. Then he goes to Arizona and gets outperformed by old ass Carson Palmer. Look it up. So back-to-back playoff games, he was outperformed. One of them he won, the other one he lost. But in both of those games, he was not the better quarterback in that game. On the field that day, he was not the better quarterback. Not GOAT, people. Then, 2016. Now he did beat the Giants. You know, I'm not gonna blame the boat trip or nothing like that. But hey, you know, Odell came in the game. You know, fresh out of Miami, going on vacation early after the last game of the season. You know, so Eli and the boys came in, kind of, you know, dropping passes, and then Aaron Rodgers did what he did. He just slung it around. They won the game, so I'll give it to him. In that game, he beat those guys. You know, whatever. The next week, he wins a shootout with rookie Dak Prescott. Now, you know, Dak Prescott to me is a game manager, you know, but he can do his thing if you need him to. They went head to head. It was a great playoff game. It was a heartbreaker for me. As you all know, I'm a Cowboys fan. Mason Crosby Mason Crosby made 2 long ass field goals that I couldn't believe, and they won the game. Then he got his ass beat in ATL. Went to Atlanta, got his ass beat. So let's break this down. 2010, Aaron Rodgers wins the Super Bowl. From that point forward to here we are right now. From that point to here right now, Aaron Rodgers in NFC title games is 0-2. Aaron Rodgers in playoff games, period, is 5-6. So the GOAT, the greatest quarterback we ever seen, according to Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman and Shannon Sharp, the greatest quarterback we ever saw throw the football, that's what he did? Sorry, man. Now, I think Aaron Rodgers is very legit. He's very elite. All-time great quarterback, top 10 all time. I can't hate on that. But he's nowhere near the GOAT. Like I said in my previous podcast, maybe I think about 4 podcasts ago, I said he's a top 10 quarterback. He could get higher on my list with another championship or just some more playoff wins. But as we stand here right now, he's top 10, and he's nowhere near the GOAT conversation. He's not even close to being in my top 5. I actually have Drew Brees ahead of him in my top 10 in terms of guys still playing right now. Drew Brees is ahead of him right now. So I just feel like playoff losses at home, getting outperformed by quarterbacks you're clearly better than, that to me doesn't say GOAT. That shows me that you have great ability. You can make all these great throws. But for the most part, you're not the GOAT. So sorry, Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, Green Bay fans. Sorry, Tyree. You know, sorry all you guys. You know, Auntie Step, I love all y'all, man. I know y'all Packer fans are very sensitive and very, you know, crying all the time and stuff like that. But I hate to break it to y'all. Aaron Rodgers is not elite. He is elite. I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers is not the GOAT. He ain't close to being the GOAT. And if he keeps this up right here, he might fall out of my top 10. Because right now, he's my top 10 based on talent and trajectory, where I feel he's going to be in 5 or 10 more years. But as of right now, no, he's not GOAT. He's nowhere near the GOAT status. So now, let's have a little fun. I'm kind of winning on Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Rodgers. Two guys who I love, by the way. But, this is 1K Sports. Hey, unbiased, unfiltered, unapologetic, man. So, now what I'm going to do right now, we'll have a little fun. We'll have some fun right now. I don't kind of win in on Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Rodgers, but it's all love. But we'll have some fun right now. And I'm going to give y'all my top 10 sports movies. Now, as y'all know, football season starts in 2 weeks. College football starts in 2 weeks. NFL starts in 3 weeks. So it's like right now, everybody's kind of waiting around, watching preseason. Me personally, I'm not a fan of preseason. I don't really watch it that much. I just kind of I read about it. I don't really look into it that much like that. But, right now we're all just killing time, watching sports movies, getting ourselves in the mood for football, man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give y'all my top 10 sports movies. This is my top 10. Feel free to chime in with y'all top 10 sports movies. So here are my top 10 right here. So, number 10, for my baseball fans out there, I got Major League. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's in my movie collection over there. I love the movies. It's not based on a true story. Now, me personally, I love sports movies that are based on true stories or, a good storyline to it. Major League was a good storyline, very comical, very kind of like, man, that's, you had the Wild Thing, Ricky Vaughn, Say Hey, Willie Mays Hayes, Serrano, man, Rule Baker, Jack Partman, Roshi Tanaka, Roger Dorn. Just it kind of puts you in the mindset of, man, like that's the real baseball team. You got the crazy young pitcher, you got the cocky, arrogant outfielder, you got the silent, scary power hitter, you got the crazy coach, the know-it-all, been there, done that, veteran player, and Jake Taylor, who coaches the team to a championship. So Major League is my number 10 sports movies. That's just a personal favorite of mine. I love that movie. I love 1 and 2, so I got Major League number 10. Number 9, I got Hurricane Season. That's a story of the New Orleans John Aaron Patriots who won the state championship after Hurricane Katrina. The coach came in and recruited different guys from different areas of New Orleans, West Coast, East Coast, 17th Ward, 9th Ward, man, just went and got different guys, brought them all together, and they all came together for one common purpose, man. So, what's up? What's up, Stamp? What's up, baby? But yeah, man, number 10, I got Hurricane Season. I thought it was a great story. I did kind of follow the real story a little bit, and I was just really impressed, man, for him to go from disaster and, the gym being torn down to rebuilding themselves up into a basketball team and winning the state championship, man. It was phenomenal. Me personally, and I'm a hard critic, especially when it comes to movies, man. I feel like this. Had I had my hands on that movie, it would have won probably an Academy Award. Now, I don't think the movie was necessarily made all that great, but the story itself was so powerful that you just had to watch the movie. But the movie itself could have been a lot better, but overall it was a great story. Could have been a better movie, but the story itself was just so powerful, it got to be in my top 10. So, number 8, childhood favorite, baby. Number 8, childhood favorite, Little Giants. I love that movie, man. I feel like, that's one of those movies where as a kid, it shows you something, man. You had the super athletic, big, fast, strong Cowboys, and you had the little, misfit, unwanted, Little Giants. They played in the game, and the most powerful part of that movie was where Danny O'Shea, who was played by Rick Morales, he said to his team, look, the Cowboys are better than you guys. They will beat y'all 99 times out of 100, but that leaves one time. And I think that was so powerful. And I can tell my sons that, hey, you may go against someone that's better than you. But on that night, For that one night, for that one battle, you can beat that guy. And for that one game, the little, misfit Giants beat the big bad Cowboys. And that to me is a childhood favorite movie of mine. I love it. I have get to see it with my sons. I'm gonna show my sons that movie and just say, hey, look, this is a good movie. You can do anything. And if you go against someone that's so much better than you, then guess what? You may be better than me. You may beat me 9 times out of 10, but I'll beat you one time. I'll get you one time. I'll get you on one night. I'll get you one time. And I think that's a great movie and also a great lesson for kids. Like, hey, they may be better, but tonight I'm better. I'm the man. So that's what it was all about. So that's my first three off the board was Major League, Hurricane Season, Little Giants. Number 7, my number 7 sport movie of all time is Love and Basketball. I love that movie. I've watched it 100 times by myself. I don't care, chick flick, whatever. It's a great movie, great storyline. Omar Epps played a great role as Quincy McCall. Sanaa Lathan played Monica Wright, ended up being Monica Wright McCall. Great story. Childhood friends that became boyfriend and girlfriend through a love of basketball. And I think seeing a movie like that, you kind of always figure, okay, the guy is going to go to the NBA. He's gonna make millions of dollars, and the wife gonna be a stay-at-home mom and take care of the kids. But I love this movie because it went the opposite. At first, Quincy was balling out. He's on ESPN. Top freshman in the country at USC. Monica's struggling, sitting on the bench, riding the bench. And then in the end of the movie, Omar Epps, who played the guy, Quincy McCall, he tore his ACL, kind of had to see life a little differently after, his dad and mom got divorced. So everything kind of went bad for him in college. And he just kind of went to the draft early towards ACL. And then Monica became the superstar athlete, and he became a stay-at-home dad. So I feel like reversing that story and kind of putting it out there like that was genius. I love that movie, man. It's in a lot of people's top 5. It's in my top 10, right there, number 7. So great movie, great cast, great story, man. Number 6 is The Express, the Ernie Davis story. As you all know, Ernie Davis was the first, black man to win the Heisman Trophy. It's a great movie. Played by Rod Brown. Darren DeWitt Henson played Jim Brown. A lot of folks don't know, the coach Ben Schwartzwalder, who by the way is a Hall of Fame coach. God rest his soul. He great coach, great recruiter, great teacher, great mentor. Won a bunch of games at Syracuse, made in the Hall of Fame. He was very, scared to recruit Ernie Davis, so he went and got Jim Brown and said, look, I got this kid, he's great, he may be even better than you, and went and got Jim Brown to recruit him. He came to Syracuse, broke all kind of records, became the first black person to win the Heisman. It was a great movie, great cast, well played, man, a great story. Also very tragic. Ernie Davis died at 23 because of leukemia. And honestly and truly, man, we may have seen the best ever in that movie, the best ever athlete to never get to the NFL. Now, it's debatable. It's very much debatable, but in my opinion, the greatest football player to never play in the NFL is Ernie Davis. Simple as that. The Elmira Express, baby. So it was a great movie. So that's my first 5 right there. Major League, Hurricane Season, Little Giants, Love and Basketball, The Express. Now we get to some real fun here, people. Number 5. It's a no-brainer, man. Sandlot. Childhood classic. You're killing me, Smalls. And I think the thing about that movie that I love the most about it is that it takes you back to your childhood. We all love baseball. We all love basketball and football, but a lot of us, our first love was baseball. Me personally, I thought I would be the next Willie Mays. Center fielder, bat like 330, hit like 500 home runs, win like 4 World Series. You couldn't tell me nothing at 8 years old. I was going to be the next Willie Mays, man. I was going to be the next great center fielder, man, but didn't work out that way when I got to high school and when I got to middle school, I realized, okay, they throw a little harder. I can't hit that ball, so you know. But the Sandlot, man, you know, it's built with just heroics in it. Of course, you know, Benny the Jet Rodriguez, going to get the ball from across the way. Kind of find out, it's like, you know, the ball. The kid. The funny thing was, you know, Smalls, you know, he didn't know how special that ball was. He went and got his stepdad's baseball that was signed by Babe Ruth. And he thinking the whole time, oh, it's just a baseball. Some girl named Babe signed it. And the guy was saying, well, who signed it? They said some guy named Baby Roofy. And they said, what? You know, it was like, who? You know, the Salt and the Swat, the King of Crown, the Colossus of Cloud, you know, Babe Ruth, the Great Bambino. Like, it's a classic, man. It's so many one-liners that we still use to this day. You're Killing Me Small is a top selling T-shirt in the mall, man. You can go get that, man. So Sandlot, man, is number 5 on my list, baby. Now, number 4. Number 4, Coach Carter. I love that movie, man. Samuel L. Jackson, one of his classics, a great movie. Also a great lesson, you know, because so many times we watch these movies and it's like, oh, you can be a great athlete. If you're good, you can be great. In the right hands, you'll be dominant. But the thing is, this movie actually touched on the student athlete part of it. This guy, you know, Samuel L. Jackson played Coach Ken Carter. It's a true story. I love true stories. His team was undefeated, and because the entire team, with their such maybe 1 or 2 players, were failing every class, so he said, you know what, we're gonna shut this whole thing down. He locked the gym and made his players meet him in the library every single day until everything was done. And because he did that, it brought so much scrutiny. You know, his life got threatened, got windows smashed in, guys, you know, spitting at him, and, you know, all this other, you know, crazy nonsense going on. But to me, it was a great movie because it really shined light on the student athlete aspect of all of this. You know, you see so many movies where it's like, hey, be a great athlete and you'll make it. But he, in this movie, is saying, look, get your grades, then be an athlete. And then, hey, if you don't work out, if it doesn't work out and you can't play ball anymore, guess what? You still got an education. And not all of his players went to the NBA. I don't think none of them did. You know, as a matter of fact, some of those guys went to college and just studied. They didn't play basketball anymore. So he really shined light on the student aspect of being a student athlete. So many times we watch movies and hear stories about the athletes and not the student part of it. And this movie shined a big old light on the student part of it and say, hey, you're not going to be Michael Jordan if you can't read and write. You can't be Shaq if you can't add and divide. So take care of that, then go be a great star, then take care of everything else. So great movie. Number 3, Gridiron Gang. All-time great movie, man. Sports movie. Of course, another true story. I love true stories. The Rock played Sean Porter. He was a probation officer at a youth prison. He made a football team. You know, you talking about a bunch of guys that are killers, gang members. You know, you got Crips and Bloods. You know, you got the essays. You got, you know, just different gangs. You know, not 9-5s, 88s. You got all these different gang members and different kind of guys who on the street would kill each other, you know, but he's bringing these guys together for a better cause. And, you know, it was such a powerful movie, man. Guys, the thing about guys in jail playing football, you know. Now, I had some great movies that I left off on here, you know, The Longest Yard, Any Given Sunday. You know, I feel bad about that, but just so many great movies, man. These are my favorites. I love Gridiron Gang. I think The Rock, to me, that was The Rock's best movie. I think everyone, it's so easy to point out the Fast and the Furious and the Scorpion King and all the big blockbusters that he's had over the years, you know, and he's had some great movies, man. So, but to me, Gridiron Gang, that's The Rock's best movie. That to me was the movie that really put him over the top, because after that movie, you started seeing The Rock in so many other action-packed movies. I feel like that was the movie that kind of propelled him to that elite status in Hollywood and pretty much say, you know, WWE, holla, you know. So Gridiron Gang is a great movie, great storyline, great powerful movie, man. So now we get to my top 2. And this actually is gonna be weird. Me being a ball player, a football player, you know, my number one is actually a basketball movie, but we'll get to that. Number two, Friday Night Lights. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a great movie. Who doesn't remember the bright lights on Friday nights? I mean, this movie really sheds light on the pressure that comes with playing football at the high school level in Texas. The expectations, there is no I hope you win, you better win. You got 17, 18-year-old kids out there, playing for almost their life almost, man. So it was a great true story, man. The Permian Panthers, 1988. The thing I love about this movie is that they could have easily made a movie about the 1989 Panthers, who went undefeated and won a state championship. But they chose to make a movie about this team that came in with all the expectations. As you all know, Boobie Miles was, I talk about Ernie Davis being the greatest player never to get to the NFL. I think Boobie is on that list. James Boobie Miles, man, like, just a great team, loaded with talent, but just couldn't quite get past that hump. They actually lost a couple games that year, and they actually lost the state championship. So it's like they made a movie showing you it's easy to make a movie about, oh, this team was so great, they won a championship all as well. But this team really had issues. This team was losing. This team was down and out. It came down to a coin flip whether they got in the playoffs or not. So all around great movie, man. So I think it was a great story. It was made out of a book. I think the movie itself was just awesome. They kind of, did a little tweaking, a little moving around in the movie compared to the actual true story. The movie and true story don't add up, but it was based off a true story. So great movie all around. So number 10, I had Major League. Number 9, Hurricane Season. Number 8, Little Giants. Number 7, Love and Basketball. Number 6, The Express. Number 7, The Sandlot. Number 4, Coach Carter. Number 3, Gridiron Gang. Number 2, Friday Night Lights. Number 1, my number 1 sport movie of all time is Glory Road. To me, it's a no-brainer. Everyone has their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I respect everyone's opinion, but Glory Road to me is the greatest sports movie ever made because, well, first of all, the story is about the 1966 Texas Western Miners, who's Don Haskins, a legendary NCAA coach, retired with I think 800 something wins, all time great coach. He recruited 7 black players to bring on that team. Now back then, at that time, that was frowned upon. Now you had exceptions, appreciate that stuff, man. What's up, baby? But in that movie, it really touched on just how hardcore it was back then with the racial inequalities and, recruiting black players. Now, you had some exceptions like, JoJo White, who ended up being a great ball player for the Celtics later on in his career. But he went out there and got 7, 7 black players, Neville Shedd, Willie Worsley, Willie Cager, David Bit Daddy Latin, Bobby Joe Hill, played by Darian Luke, Orson Artis, and Harry Flournoy. So you had 7 guys who were black players. They faced so much adversity, man. I think when one of the guys, Neville Shedd, who was played by hits from the street, was jumped in the bathroom by some white guy. They put his face in the toilet. They vandalized the hotel rooms. I mean, they went through so much, man, and so much adversity and so much turmoil. It kind of overshadowed just how great that team was. I mean, that was easily Don Haskins' best team. It was a smaller school, but, back then you could recruit great players to come to small schools. Back then it was Texas Western. Nowadays it's called University of Texas at El Paso. But back then it was called Texas Western. So it was a great movie, great story, man. Just they fought through so much. And then, just the culmination of it all was the championship game where Don Haskins calls a team and say, "Hey, y'all meet me in the gym night before the game." Now he calls the whole team in the gym and he says, "Look." He calls all the white guys and says, "Look, I love you guys. Thank y'all for what y'all have done, but this has to stop right now. I'm only playing the black players in the final game." And he played those 7 black players that he recruited. He played. That was his rotation. Those 5 starters and 2 subs. He played those 7 guys, and he beat the 1966 Kentucky Wildcats, led by, as you all know, Pat Riley from the Miami Heat. Before he was Pat Riley for the Miami Heat, he was Pat Riley at UK, balling. Willie Dampier. I mean, just loaded team led by the great Adolph Ruff. They took him out, man. It was a great game, great story, man. And I think one of the all-time great stories. You talk about back then where it was just loaded with racial, tensions and all of that, man. It was just crazy, man. And so for Don Haskins to have the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to go out here, I'm going to recruit 7 black players. I'm going to play. I'm not only going to go and recruit them, I'm going to play them. My point guard will be a black kid from Detroit that nobody wanted named Bobby Joe Hill. My center is going to be the highly recruited David Lattin, but nobody want to sign him because of his color. Sharpshooters like, Orson Artis, two-way guys like Neville Shedd and Willie Cager and Worsley, guys like that, man. So, great movie, man. Great cast, great story. It was made so well. That movie should have won the Academy Award. That's just me, but just an all-around great movie. My all-time favorite movie, man. I watched that movie before any big football game, ask all my teammates, man, before any game, I'll watch that movie. I didn't care if we was on the road or at home. I'll watch that movie before every game. I didn't care. And I'm a football player. This is a basketball movie, but I watched that game. I watched that movie before every game. And I just felt like I couldn't lose. Like, I'm watching that movie. It just pumps you up, man. It makes you want to run through a brick wall for someone, man. So, great movie, great story. Also, another true story, man. So, like I said, Major League, hurricane season, Little Giants, Love and Basketball, The Express, The Sandlot, Coach Carter, Gridiron Gang, Friday Night Lights, and Glory Road. Those are my top 10 sports movies, man. Y'all feel free to still chime in. I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here, man. So, thank y'all for tuning in once again. It's your boy PC Williams, man. It's 1K Sports. Hey, unbiased, unfiltered, unapologetic, baby. Y'all be easy. Peace.